I wish you luck. Perhaps I will see you again, if you survive.
So, things are looking up. You've gained the favor of the Lotus Assassins. With the recommendation of the Inquisitor, the others will welcome you as a recruit. You can slip into the very heart of their lair. You could also go to the arena and seek the favor of the Executioner, but it isn't necessary now. A path to the Lotus Assassin Fortress is open.
And after we find the evidence against Death's Hand, you will take us to the palace to find Master Li?
I promise, little Dawnstar. After we get what I want from the Lotus Assassins, the palace is the first place we will go. You have permission, so there won't be any trouble entering. It's only after we have the evidence against Death's Hand that they might notice something is wrong.
Yeah, well, we'll worry about that when the time comes.
It would still be good to get some information first. Sagacious Zoo might know something. We should ask him. Where is he?
Well, you should be more careful of who you trust.
Well, like you. If I did that, none of you would be here, apart from Dawnstar.
That is true. I wouldn't trust any of the ragged homeless you have collected. No offense meant to those of you who are actually homeless, Dawnstar. If Sagacious Zoo has gone to warn the Lotus Assassins, you need to move quick. If he's just run off, he is no longer our concern.
Zoo would not turn on us.
The Lotus Assassin Fortress is in the far end of the necropolis. They shouldn't give you any trouble. Just appear confident as you enter.
Yeah, I'm going to do the task for the other recruiter first.
That is your decision. I suppose it doesn't hurt to make certain they trust you, but you should not take too long. Sagacious Zoo's actions are troubling. The Executioner in the arena will want you to demonstrate your ability as a combatant. Finish with him and hurry back.
Not right now.
Do not hesitate for too long. Sagacious Zoo's sudden flight has made our task somewhat more urgent.
I mean, for all I know, she could have assassinated him, couldn't she? Anyway, I'm going to take a quick break. Then we'll talk to our companions. And then we'll go do the arena. Judge Fang's Ring. An Imperial signet ring given as a token of office to the Chief Minister of Harmony, Judge Fang. It is Fang's official seal of office, procured for you by Gentle Breezes. Fang's Resignation. This is Judge Fang's letter of resignation from his post as the head of the Ministry of Harmony. It is stamped with his Imperial signet ring.
Yes? How can this humble bunmaster assist you today?
Do you want to comment on the turtle eggs thing?
I still can't believe it's that easy to become a Lotus Assassin. If I had known sooner, I would have joined their ranks as soon as possible. It would be brutal work, with little reward, and there's a good chance I'd die a hideous, painful death. But it couldn't all be better than married life, could it?
Ho ho!
As you say.
Always happy to help. You managed to satisfy the Lotus Assassins, and that's a major step forward. I just worry that it's a step over the edge of a precipice.
Like Brexit. Ah, fear, 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 fear.
Despite my misgivings, I can't help but smile at the thought that you're the reason they're so keen to acquire new recruits. Nothing like thinning the ranks to make some room. I was thinking about a story my father once told me. He was a scoundrel, but he could spin a fine yarn when he wasn't robbing caravans. Have you ever heard the tale of the Eternal Companions?
I can't say I have. What brought that to mind?
The Eternal Companions were a group of warriors that traveled the ancient kingdoms, well before the formation of the Empire. They were said to be giants, to know styles no one could match, and to always appear to offer their services to a kingdom when times were worst.
Were these warriors real?
The tales are too fantastic to be accurate. Though I'm sure the Black Whirlwinds tried at least once, no one can actually cleave a mountain in two. What made me bring this up was just a simple thought. Were these companions real people once? Were they just like us? Something tells me they were, but not in the way you'd expect. You know how legends tend to grow in the telling? I think they also absorb other tales as they go.
Yeah, I think that's right. That's the difference between a myth and a legend, isn't it? Think what we're doing is another version of the tale?
I doubt it. For instance, we have yet to wipe out a rival kingdom. Failing that, I'm a bit shy of 12 feet tall. The point is that when things are wrong, people believe that someone will do something about it. Whether we succeed or not, we are those someones right now. More importantly, you're the someone. You're the real reason we're together. And I worry about how much of this rides on your shoulders. You're important to me in many ways. I just want you to know that I'll do anything I can to help. Anything. Just ask.
Thank you, Sky.
You're welcome. We'll talk again soon, I promise. For now, let's get back to it.
Hard to target Dawnstar while I'm with her. Oh, do I have to hear one of these?
What? What do you want? Too much talking and thinking can be dangerous, I should know. I remember one cold winter I took a job clearing rats from a local monastery. I was supposed to make sure the pests stayed out of the sacred pools, but hunting rats one at a time is boring work. So I had an idea, a way to catch them all at once. I convinced the monks to give me some of their sacred wine, and I filled the sacred pools. I figured if I could get the rats drunk, they'd be so much easier to catch.
Yeah, killing rats is a pretty trad level 1 encounter.
Nothing happened at first, so I helped myself to the wine. I passed out before the rats came. In the middle of the night, I was woken up by screaming monks and fiery explosions. It was just the rats. The poor furry buggers were just trying to get warm near the monks' fires after their swim in the wine. Not a good combination.
The rats exploded? Really? That's horrible.
The monks wanted me gone. I might have deserved the blame, but the abbot insisted it was a sign from the gods and closed the monastery. See what happens when you think too much?
This is by far the most stupid thing I've ever heard.
Whatever.
Do you have any mad bants?
Yes, yes, what can I do for...
No, I'm guessing not.
Those assassins will be tougher than Gao's men. Be careful. I need you to do more test flights with my marvelous dragonfly. Yes, yes, goodbye. Now, back to my dragonfly. Perhaps the wings should be retractable for storage and, rolling stops.
Hate you, Salt Fox.
You must go to the Lotus Assassin Fortress like we agreed. Find the evidence against Death's Hand, and I will help you rescue Master Li. The Lotus Assassin Fortress is dangerous, but we have no other choice if we are to prove Death's Hand as a traitor. I chose you because I knew you could handle this. After you get what I need, I will take you to the palace.
Not a lot of chit-chat
You-
there.
I don't understand. You've gained the favor of the Lotus Assassins with a fair amount of ease. What else is there to speak of? Is there something you are wondering?
Yeah, tell me about yourself. I want to know about you.
About me? I am Princess Sun Lian, the Heavenly Lily. What more are you worthy of knowing?
Tell me about your childhood.
I do not remember ever being allowed to just be a child. My mother died when I was born, shortly before the end of the long drought and the fall of my uncles. I was in the care of tutors too afraid to punish me and too ingratiating to teach me anything useful. I quickly found ways to sneak away from the palace. They dared not report my excursions for fear they would be punished. They would scurry around all day trying in vain to find me.
What did you do while you were in the city?
I met the people, the peasants, the homeless, the thieves. Such a different world from what you see from the palace walls. They never realized who I was. I'm sure they would have been terrified of the army storming in to rescue me. Most just wanted to be left alone. That life was exciting, but also useful. Even Lotus assassins overlook the beggar on the street, but she still has eyes and ears.
Tell me about Silk Fox.
Ah, the shadow behind my public self. How else can a curious princess learn what really happens in her domain? I don't have time to interpret the veiled statements of advisors, so I became a thief, an assassin, whatever I needed to be. People will not speak to the princess. Bad news kills the messenger first. Silk Fox knows how to persuade. That is how I learned about the activities of Death's Hand.
Yeah, but I'm sure you find being Silk Fox exciting as well.
There is a freedom in it. I have the resources to go anywhere in the secrecy to do anything. If I wished it, I could be quite carefree. But that is not what I have found in practice. Instead, I see how my father's reign has twisted, and I know I must do something.
Tell me about your time at court.
I do not like to speak about that. I try to avoid the court as much as possible. It is filled with sycophants pandering to the fancies of my father, with little or no concern to their own dignity. It is distasteful.
I think you would do very well at court.
I can handle myself better than any of the fancy courtiers who attempt to match me. I know that someday the court will be mine to rule. When I succeed my father, there will be quite a cleaning out, but with Death's Hand manipulating him, that day seems less and less likely.
Tell me about your first love.
It would be very improper for someone of my standing to say anything, unless you make me a little more comfortable. I have already shared something of myself. Can you tell me something about you? Is there anyone that you care for?
I like Dawnstar. Hey, don't tell the other guys, but I actually find Sky to be quite compelling.
Is that so? I do not see as much in him, but you have been distracting me. I am beginning to think that it is intentional. You are an interesting woman. I think we are very similar in some ways. Perhaps we were sisters in another life. Or perhaps we were something else. I begin to wonder what you want from me. Perhaps I'm just too uncertain of my own nature. I live two lives and I no longer know which is truly me.
Was her emoting there meant to be fisting me? Because if it was, that was pretty crude. You're a Silk Fox and you take what you want from whomever you want. No, that's horrible. I'm not sure I like either of these, actually. I don't like calling you a princess. You are Princess Sun Lian, but that does not mean you are any less deserving of being happy.
I should not be ungrateful. Everything in my life is dedicated solely to making me happy, but I am at odds with so much. I am always behind a mask, not just when I am Silk Fox. I am not allowed to show an interest in politics, defending the Empire, or even spontaneous affection. Can you see the dilemma you represent? Not only is our deepening friendship prohibited by station, but by so much more.
Yeah, by you being a horrible person. I don't really like her. I'm not particularly interested in pursuing a relationship with her yet. I don't really like, I don't trust her. She's the most horrible of all my companions. Tradition can be maintained without restraining people. As the Heavenly Lily, you can make certain of it.
I have tried to make a place for myself. It was difficult, but I have succeeded, despite Death's Hand or my father or what people think. But you are another matter. When I look at you, I see someone I could know better than anyone. Someone who could understand what I need. It frightens me how much you intrigue me.
Damn, she's so full on. She's kind of worn me down a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I can accept intriguing. I'd prefer stimulating.
No doubt you would. You treat me like the foolish boys I have tossed aside in the past. I think I rather like that. You asked me about my first love. It was the Empire and its people. There might be room for another, given time and effort. How would the court react? You have the skill to be charmingly discreet, but a few people could use a shock now and then. You and I will have much to discuss after we have restored my father. I am looking forward to it.
Goodbye for now.
Do not hesitate for too long.
Well, I didn't expect the conversation to go like that.
Be careful in the Lotus Assassin Fortress. They may not know you are an enemy, but they can still be dangerous. As much as I think it is foolishly dangerous, you need to go to the Lotus Assassin Fortress and find the information the princess needs. After that, she will take us to the palace. We are so close to Master Li. Just a little longer, I hope.
Can I not talk about Dawnstar? That's a shame. Why is it chugging so much? I've got to say I like Dawnstar the most out of all our companions. Have I been this way? No, there's nothing there anyway. I really don't want to use all my level ups until I know which martial style I want. Maybe I'll learn one that has a good range on it. Or the Iron Palm or the Spitting Viper, whatever they're called.
I want to hear that you're ready for your next fight. What do you need?
Yes, I am.
For your first match, we'll start you off against a mighty ogre. I'll be watching your style closely to see how you fare. Impress me, and I'll take you to the top. Even our great champions start out against the ogre. Take Raging Ox, who danced around the beast singing drunkenly to earn the crowd's favor, or the Ravager, who defeated him in a single blow. I should take a moment and explain the system we use here.
What? Haven't we already gone through all that?
I like to keep things simple and organized. Any other way, and things get more convoluted than the celestial court on the Emperor's birthday. When you're ready for your match, ask me about it, and I'll give you a quick summary of your opponent. I'll be setting up your matches, of course. Various enchantments woven in this place keep the fights from being deadly, but they're no less real. You'll feel the pain if you don't keep your defense up. Are you ready to get started?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
A new warrior does battle with the Beast.
Oh, that's not Paul Jean. He was rubbish.
That was an impressive beginning. Normally I'd have started you off against something easier, but you practically ooze potential. You've caught the eyes of the other fighters as well. Go ask them if you don't believe me.
That really was a fantastic bout!
Beating the ogre's nothing special. I could have done better bound and blinded.
Sometimes you don't even need to ask.
Oh, it's flawless victory, come on.
One fight does not make a champion, though. There are many more opponents ahead of you. Let's move on, shall we?
Yep, let's do the next fight.
Since you held your own against the ogre brute last time, I'm going to try something exciting for the crowd. I've got 4 boys from some school west of the city who've been bothering me for some tougher matches. I'm giving you all of them at once. It'll wow the crowd and teach them a lesson at the same time. Remember to watch your sides and back. Are you ready to get started?
Yeah, let's go.
Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
Four students test their skills against one master.
Are you kidding me? They were rubbish.
Those boys won't be back anytime soon. Losing as a group to one opponent would shame a peasant, let alone a student of the martial arts.
Okay, what's the next fight?
The crowd's starting to catch on to you. Have you noticed? People like you, and now I'm going to make sure they pay attention. I'm going to have a roughly hewn statue hauled into the ring. I want you to disconstructulate it. Destroy the statue quickly enough, and I'll give you a shot at hapless Han. Are you ready to get started?
Yeah, it's a bit Street Fighter 2, but okay.
Excellent. Follow me, and we'll get you ready for your next match.
Unyielding stone meets the press of time.
I wonder if I meant to do T-strikes against it or something.
Excellent work. You have bested time itself in destroying that statue. No mean feat, I assure you.
And you said Hapless Han was next?
I think you're ready to face hapless Han. Show me you're ready for the big time, and I'll make sure you don't have to dance with the children anymore. Are you ready to get started?
Yeah.
Excellent. Follow me, and we'll get you ready for your next match.
A chance to leave the qualifying division as Raging Dragon faces Hapless Han.
I presume you have to try to lose against Hapless Han if he throws his fights.
You dealt with Han very well. I knew you would. All of our professional fighters move past him eventually.
That will be enough. I
I bring you a message from my employer, Kailan the Serpent. He is impressed with how far you have come in such a short while. The Serpent wants you to know that he is watching your progress very closely. He is most interested to see how you fare in the Bronze Division. Kui, you may breathe again. That is all I had to say.
Well, that was good, I think.
That scowly guy's a knob. Why'd you let Lucky Cho push you around, Kui?
Lucky Cho is a thug, pure and simple, but he's very good at what he does. He's also a member of the Guild and reports directly to Kailan. Kailan oversees things here in the arena, and the Guild ensures that the authorities leave us in peace.
Basically a protection racket. Tell me more about Kailan the Serpent.
He has a distinct interest in the proceedings here. He is an ex-champion, you see. He retired some time ago, even before Raging Ox, who was the champion before the Ravager. Kailan couldn't leave the arena alone, though. He has become a very important man here with the help of a group called the Guild.
Yeah, what can you tell me about the Guild?
The Guild is the organization that controls all of the betting in this place. That gives them considerable sway. It is good that they are happy with your progress. Between us, the Guild is also involved in more illicit activities. They are very sensitive about remaining an open secret. Many know about them, but few acknowledge that fact. Right now is a particularly dangerous time, as one of the leaders of the Guild has recently been inhumed. Kailan sees this as an opportunity. Do not discuss them openly. The Guild has many ears. You may ask some of the others in the arena about them if you wish, but I would not bring it up to just anyone.
Interesting. I don't really know what inhumed means, but it's hardly a surprise that the protection racket that runs the Guild and the betting is evil. They sound like a gang of common thugs. I should turn them in.
I would not recommend that. I'm sure the authorities are already aware of their existence. Reporting them for activities you cannot prove is like stirring a chamber pot with a short stick. You're the one likely to lose in that situation. For the sake of your career, I suggest that you limit any questions you have to your fellow fighters.
Well done! That fight was much better than this wine. With all the pure water pouring from the palace, you'd think they might have learned how to make wine that didn't taste like goat piss.
Black Whirlwind, that is you. Are you back to...
No, just here visiting, and making sure nothing happens to your newest fighter.
So you won't be...
No, leave it alone, Kui. You know better than to bring this up. Just mind your business, promoter, and I'll mind mine.
You travel in curious company. Regardless, when you're ready, come talk to me again and we'll discuss your next match.
You're friends with this lummox who won't stop following me, I take it?
I know him, yes, but I know better than to contravigate his wishes. If you want to talk about it, ask him. I'm staying out of it. What do you need? Do not be gone too long. Kana may well rise to become the Silver Division champion while you're away.
Oh yeah, can't wait. Right. Where's the Black Whirlwind gone?
Time to bloody my axes.
It's hard to target him.
Boy, that sure was something. I wouldn't have wanted to be me out there, except that I was. But I learned so much from facing you. Next time I should try some of that fancy stuff you do. I'm not exactly sure how you did it, though.
Pay attention when you fight. Make the enemy's moves your own.
You know, that's a good idea. I tend to focus on myself more than others. Perhaps I can learn some new tricks. Thanks for the encouragement.
Do you know anything about a, guild?
All the contestants know about the guild. They are the real power here. Keep your voice low. We don't want Lucky Cho to hear us talking about this.
Who's in charge of the guild?
I don't know about the guild itself, but around here the man in charge is named Kai Lan the Serpent. He's a powerful magician and incredibly deadly in battle. Retired Imperial champion, in fact. I never have to deal with Kai Lan. I'm not good enough to compete with the big players, so he isn't interested in me. I prefer it that way.
So what does the guild do exactly?
I've heard from some of the others that they sometimes ask fighters to throw matches, or worse. It may not actually be that bad, but I always advise new fighters to be careful, just in case.
That's what we thought anyway, wasn't it? How do they operate so openly?
It's not that open, but Lucky Cho and Kai Lan don't bother to hide their actions much. I wonder if the rest of the guild appreciates them being that open. As to why the Empire tolerates them, I know of at least one promising fighter who went off to join the Lotus Assassins not too long ago. It was like they recruited him after seeing what he could do here. Maybe there's some arrangement that makes the Lotus Assassins overlook this place.
You're not as stupid as you look.
It's always nice of you to stop by and chat. A lot of people who move past me in the arena never look back.
I'm guessing Iron Soldier won't tell us anything.
Wuwuwir aki thitahirir koni afafatir?
You managed to win your last match, didn't you?
Satha afsoni wakwihir fonir noni wo yak kuptir.
Han's a sad little man. Don't put much stock in your victory.
Looks like you're still walking after that last match. Too bad. You ground the hapless one beneath your feet like everyone else does, huh? Han's pathetic for wasting time on the hopefuls, if you ask me. Then again, watching Han stumble to Dr. An every time he tries to handle the real Bronze Division fights is one of the most entertaining things about this place.
Doesn't like I can talk to him about the guild either.
I don't pay attention to the Bronze Division. Who has time for all the hopefuls and their empty dreams? Now go on and leave me alone. We've got nothing to talk about.
I wonder if the others won't let me talk about it either.
While I cannot see you, your appearances are hard to ignore. Welcome again. Hapless Han stumbled in here for yet another treatment after you defeated him. Impressive handiwork, though I find myself in a position to wish you were less skilled, especially with Han. He is a continual strain on my time.
I agree with her. Where's the I agree button again? I've got 2 disagree buttons. I want an agree button. What's wrong with treating Han?
I think you misunderstand the situation. I have no problems treating Han, but I receive no compensation for tending to injuries. I shouldn't complain, though. The arena pays me to look after you fighters, and Han's constant injuries have helped me hone my healing skills to a razor edge.
So yeah, you do get paid for it.
I'm afraid I can't help you. I'm certain you understand the ethics at stake. My knowledge of their strengths and weaknesses would be a weapon in the wrong hands.
Sorry for skipping that. I thought we'd done it.
Be well. Well, I
Didn't mean to do that.
Be well.
Will you talk to me yet?
Look who stands before us, brothers. You are the unstoppable force that left poor Han a cluttered pile of optimistic wreckage at the side of the arena. I'm sure he will bounce back as fresh as ever, though. He always does.
What can you tell me about the guild?
We can tell you to be careful whom you ask about such things. Secrets kept in the open are the most sensitive.
Who is Kailan?
The serpent who dwells in the shadows of this place. Like an air spirit, he is everywhere and yet invisible to the eye.
Brother Sui puts it well. Kailan the Serpent is the Guild's will in this place, powerful enough that only the brave or foolish discuss him at any length.
What does Guild do here exactly?
Besides running the most expansive betting operation in the Empire, I speculate that they do much more than that, but we have been smart enough not to find out. We question things in the arena, though. For example, why are we allowed to fight as one body when the rules suggest such a thing should be illegal? The Guild cares more for a good show than fair play. Good shows keep the bet money flowing, especially if a favored fighter were to suddenly and surprisingly lose.
Yeah, that's pretty trad. Why do you think the Empire doesn't want to stop the Guild?
I agree. I don't want them around anymore. They scare me.
If you let fear guide your decisions, Brother Boo, you will find that you have walked the coward's path.
Philosophy aside, the Empire certainly could wipe them out. But wouldn't another similar organization appear? Regardless, if something could be done, the Empire would have done it already.
Yeah, going back to that point, like people say, drug dealers are far worse than users, and of course they are, that's absolutely true. They're the ones that have shootouts and so on. But if they weren't selling drugs, they'd only move on to something else. You know, they'd run protection rackets or betting rackets, for example, in this case. So yeah, even if you did shut down the arena, the mobsters would only go and do something else. They're not going to go and get a proper job, are they?
Oh yes, we shall see you around. Of that you can be sure.
Han lacks the competitive drive to... Let me start that again. Han lacks the competitive drive to progress beyond his current position, but he is skillful enough. Be honoured by your victory. Lucky Cho mentioned the Guild. I need to know your thoughts on them. The Guild has made this place of spiritual trials. Kailan the Serpent heads their activities here. It is but one part of their larger operation, but their practices disgust me. What can you tell me about the Serpent? He is the real power behind Kui, Lucky Cho, and all the rest. He bends the fighters to his will, but I will not be his puppet. The Serpent will never guide my sword. And what role does the Guild play? Kai's land's thugs are but a portion of the larger Guild, fixing fights and adjusting the odds in their favour. There are rumours of extortion and worse, but it's best not to speak of it. Why do you think the Empire puts up with the Guild? Dishonour exists everywhere. The Guild exists in an uneasy truce with the officials, and a steady stream of bribes aids the relationship, from what I hear. Others say the arena recruits for the Lotus Assassins, and it is a theory worth considering. Does my blade somehow aid these assassins that threaten my homeland? I pray not. Okay, so I'm going to have to end it here because I'm late for my D&D group. And I can't talk, which won't combine well together. But, there we go, that's life. I should talk to Black Whirlwind if I could target him. He's determined not to let me talk to him. Oh, have I got him? Whoops. We should talk about your time. In fact, I reckon this will be bigger than I expected. No, I'm doing that next session. Thank you for watching.